Welcome to Cowboys and Coffee podcast. I am the father, and I'm talking to my son, and we're talking about Dallas Cowboys. Paul, how you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a long week. It's been a long week for Cowboys fans. It's felt like forever, hasn't it? This first week.
Again, the off season from last game to last year, we saw part two, the first game of the year. Part one of that last game and part two, I am not happy, to say the least.
No.
And let me just get right into it. What's going on? The coaching staff is to blame for this loss.
Yep.
Not Jerry, not Steven, the coaching staff. I want to again give you a number. Forget about the injury. Those things happen. It's your starting quarterback. I get all that. That's a waste of time to go down that road, to me. Waste of time. He's overpaid. Waste of time to talk about it. After these guys sign contracts, it's a waste of time. Before they sign a contract, argue. 10 carries for Ezekiel Elliott.
It's horrible.
10
carries for
carries.
5.2 yards per carry, 5.2, and you're not going to go to him anymore? And you're going to give Tony Pollard tosses and double reverses 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage? It's like, what is this offense? Kellen Moore outsmarts himself again.
Listen, he's not Mike Martz. He's not the guy I want, North Turner. But he had credibility off last year's run and gun, ranked number one offense. Okay. They came into that first game. The offensive line, this left guard goes down, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. Blocking schemes change up. Players' experience working together. Those are considerations. 10 carries should have been done in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Period. And that affected the rest of the scheme, the rest of the game. The defense did what they could. Bend, don't break. You had two outstanding plays by a guy who gave his all to make those two plays. One of them was against a second string a left tackle. I get it. He put his liver on the line, his kidneys on the line to make those plays to stop it. I get that. 10 carries, Ezekiel Elliott, and also how many penalties? 10.
10 penalties. I know. Same
10. Mm-hmm. By the way, are there more holding penalties on runs or pass plays? That you have to break down. That playbook or whatever he's signing, looking on I don't know if it's Scrabble book he's playing with. I don't know. It is a Monopoly directions. Here's one.
Word search.
Yeah. Here's the one we used to play. What was the one? I don't know if you remember that. The dots on the floor. You used to spin the thing in one foot where we want a dot and the other foot the other. My wife.
Twister. It was really bad. I mean, there was no continuity. And if you say, okay, we don't want Dak to get teed off on, Zeke's running the ball for 5.2 yards per rush. He actually looked really good in that zone blocking scheme, the zone right, zone left. I thought it was great for them. I'm like, why did they stop? And they would have 3 and outs, and Brady's right back on the field putting up points. And the defense only let up 19 points, and the offense played horrible. The offense wasn't keeping the other team on the field. What do you expect these guys to do? Plus 5 minutes for the Bucs on the field, but it felt like it might as well have been plus 5 weeks.
I think this Cincinnati game coming up, listen, I don't want them to play better. I want them to win the game.
Yeah.
No moral victories. Oh, they look better now on offense, but the defense didn't play well. No. This game right here, Cooper Rush and McCarthy and Moore, it's on those 3 people. Listen, CD, you've been reading your clippings a little bit, baby. You like that 88? Fine. I like that 88 too. I can wear the 88. You better not worry about 88. You better worry about running your routes and catching the ball. Now, let me touch on Mr. Prescott. He did not look well standing in that pocket. I don't like that ankle. I don't like his stance. His balls were not sharp at all. They were not tight at all. Timing was all off. I'm saying that this month is a blessing in disguise. I still believe it. This is a big game for the organization. This is a big game for Dallas Cowboy fans. Now, we go 1-1. Are we winning the Super Bowl? That's not what I'm talking about. But 1-1 gives you some momentum, and your momentum is as good as your next game, whatever that saying goes. I get that. You don't want to go into Giants 0-2.
No, and it's really a bad look. Jamar Chase, we know is going to get his, but can you keep him from scoring multiple touchdowns? Can you keep him from scoring one touchdown? Can you stop him from going 10 catches, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns? Because he could easily do that against you. He could scorch you. Now,
and the word is easily.
Yes. Stephon Diggs needs to step up. He can't be playing like we've seen last week. I don't think he had a terrible game. They let the touchdown up to Mike Evans. But he can't be getting scorched this week. This defense, when Jerron Kearse is out as a safety, they really have to put up. Parsons is all world. He's everything he's built to be. He's probably the best defender in the NFL right now. He can do things no one else can do in coverage, as a linebacker, as a pass man. I mean, he makes guys like Tristan Wirf, who's a big, strong, good tackle. He just pushed him straight back to Brady for a sack. I mean, he's unreal. We could sit here all day and sing his praises. The other guy's got to play. Tank Lawrence has got to get after people. These D tackles have to do something. Something else has to happen. I want to get back to Dak here real quick for just a second. They let John Kitna go as a quarterback's coach, and it's changed Dak. You say, well, last year they were great. Yeah, he needs that quarterback's coach to improve those mechanics, especially with that ankle. He's not running. He needs to vacate the pocket faster. I love that he keeps his eyes downfield, but you have to feel the pocket's closing in, get out, roll left, run out of bounds, pick up 3 yards rather than a 5-yard sack or a 6-yard sack. I'd rather take 2nd and 7 versus 2nd and 16. Then you're throwing 8 yards, it's 3rd and 8, great, or 3rd and 6. These are not manageable numbers that they're leaving themselves in. And Dak's ankle is definitely still messed up, and now he has the thumb. And I've got Jerry telling me he could be coming back in 4 weeks. Is he Black Jesus? He's going to heal in 4 weeks and just come back? Listen, I hope so. But you come back in 4 weeks and you smack that hand again, it's a whole other offseason. It's 8 months now. So something's got to happen. Someone's got to figure some stuff out.
Cooper Rush has to prepare this week and play like a first-string quarterback, not like a backup. Okay, you can't play like a backup.
He beat the Vikings last year in Minnesota.
Yes. And the receivers, this guy Houston's got to step up. CD's got to step up. The offensive coordinator, McCarthy, these guys got to sit down and say, okay, where are we going the rest of the year? What do we remember? I told you before. Listen, I'm not a football genius. You set up the run to set up the pass, or set up the pass to set up the run. You have to counteract each other. Listen, the famous words on Nate Newton is they're teeing off on us. Let's run the football. The great Nate Newton with that line. They're teeing off on us. Let's run the rock.
I think that's where we have to be at. I mean, do they have many options? They might as well throw you or me out there at wide receiver. And I think what really bothers me most, Sam Williams hasn't gotten a lot of run, and Jalen Tolbert was inactive. Your 3rd-round pick, who's a wide receiver, a position you need. You couldn't properly prepare him to get out in the field week 1, and there's talk that he might not be able to play again week 2 either, being active. That's disgraceful. You have undrafted free agents like Dennis Houston out here playing, and I don't disrespect him grinding, but you spent a 3rd-round pick on a guy who's not even able to get on the field, and he has talent. That's unacceptable.
I thought Williams did play. I mean, he got some runs.
Right.
But Houston, is he inactive for tomorrow's game? I don't know. When did they come up with that? Night before or day?
Day of.
That day.
We'll see. Day of. He was inactive last week. Sam Williams was out there a couple plays, but
he got lost out there. There was a play he didn't even move. But here's the thing with Houston. This is what I read according to Stephen Jones. They said they gave him too much on his plate.
Tolbert.
Tolbert. He did get the playbook early before the draft. He did have that. they want him to know every position inside and out. Okay, well, get him to play like Marvin Harrison. This the right side of the field like Marvin Harrison. He wouldn't even look at the left side.
Right.
Fine, get him out there catching the ball and then taking it to the house.
There's no reason that you can't find a way to put a playmaker on the field. There shouldn't be a reason. It reminds me of Joe Judge's Giants. You can't get a talented playmakers on the field and get them the ball. Like, it's disgraceful. It's bad coaching. Like you've said, it's bad coaching. And
get number 9 out there. Get him in. Put him inside. Put him inside. Put him right off the tight end.
The first week against the Bucs, Tom Brady's a bad matchup. You had talked about Tom Brady and the Cowboys D coordinator.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. I told you, he knows what time Quinn has his cup of tea in the morning. He knows where he gets his haircut, the barber shop, the whole thing. He knows all that about Quinn. Okay, how about the Giants open up against Tampa Bay? How about the Redskins open up against How about the Eagles open up? How about them? Why don't they do that?
Yeah,
Stephen A. Smith.
They get these other matchups. We'll see the Eagles have a matchup Monday night against the Vikings. We're going to see if they can stop if that vaunted defense and all the talk about Jordan Davis coming to play and we get 4 snaps. Jordan Davis, maybe.
Is that what he did? That's all he got?
I don't know if he was active. I don't even know. He was 5th defensive tackle for them. Like he might have played a couple field goal blocks, and that's about it. So,
yeah, I know. Yeah, they were 9 for 13 on third downs. The Eagles gave up 9 of 13 for third downs. But go ahead.
And that's against a Lions offense.
Of course,
it's not good.
Yeah, but anyways, listen. This is McCarthy. I guess McCarthy, what we're trying to tell you is this. Bye-bye. Hello, Mr. Payton.
That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it.
That's the reality of it. That's behind the scenes, And guess what? None of his offenses will have 10 flags.
Nope.
Let me touch on Mr. Smith, Tyler Smith, okay? Let me just say
Davis played 22 snaps, which was like less than 30% of the game. So continue.
Who it is?
That was Jordan Davis for the Eagles.
Yeah. How many snaps? 22?
22 snaps for the game.
Yes, I'm saying he ain't on the field all the time.
Less than a third of the game.
Please. But Tyler Smith, listen, big, strong kid. He looked okay. I mean, Barrett's a good guy to match up. It's a good experience. He'll move on. But he ain't all pro. He ain't a Pro Bowler right now. Maybe next year he is. Fine. Don't put the tag on these guys. Okay. I watched the guy from the Chargers, the BC guard. He's a little more polished.
Right. Well, he's also played interior line. Smith is making the transition to the left guard all preseason. And then the last week he has to kick out the left tackle, which we all knew was a solid year away. Jason Peters, I want him playing left tackle and have Tyler Smith kick in to left guard. And I think that's the strongest line that you have. You'll have a stout run blocking left side. And, he'll teach him a lot about pass protection. I want him in tomorrow. I want him in, this is coming out on Sunday. I want him out today.
Yeah, I was surprised at Steelwood. He had 2 flags or 3 flags.
Yeah, it was a tough day for him. But,
I was surprised on that one. I was a little because he had experience out there. You're playing home. I was a little surprised on that.
His work cut out for him this week. He doesn't have many options. They better get out there and do it because they need to score. The only team in the NFL who did not score a touchdown this week is Dallas Cowboys for week 1. And that's not going to cut it. Forget Super Bowl, forget NFC Championship. That's not going to cut it for your division. You can't win like that. Obviously, you can't win like that. But, I mean, you look like the worst team in the division this week. It doesn't help that every other team won, but you also definitively look like you had the worst offense. And, you say Steven and Jerry, but they really – Amari left, Gallup's hurt. What do they do to bring in someone else who can do something there? They're still a little light in the offensive line and dinged up. Like, they better figure it out fast or else this is going to be here's my biggest fear. I'll be honest with you. That the Cowboys stink and they're 1-7 by the time Dak gets back and Dak comes back and plays well enough to make them 6-11. And then they don't even get a top 5 pick. They get pick 12. And you're not getting one of the elite talents in this draft because it's going to be a very deep draft. That's my biggest fear. If you're going to go and make the playoffs, okay, make the playoffs. Even as a wild card, and anything can happen. Even if you
Right.
don't win, okay, well, like you made the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs and you're a 16, 18, those picks stink. Those are like the worst picks. There's no value in that. Your team's not even good.
Look, I understand that's the draft day where you end up in the top 10 and so forth. Each draft has a different history to it. We came off this last draft. What did we say? The worst ever? I don't know who's playing well. I really didn't finish after week from the year before. Our draft was as iconic as can be. Listen, McCarthy and Moore and those guys and the quarterback, it's on them right there. I'm not worried about the defense, okay, but they're going to take shots down the middle of the field with the safety.
Yes.
Yeah, so you better play cover 2 the whole game. Don't that cover 1, whatever they call it, that one cover. You better go cover 2 or cover 3 sometimes and get after the quarterback and let them throw everything underneath, because Chase and Higgins, is he's playing Higgins?
Yeah, I said he's most likely going to play.
No, he's going to be down the field. They're going to take 5 shots down the field, and this is where the seven-step drop comes in. They better be pressure up the middle so that he can take a step right or left into the defensive ends.
Yes,
Lawrence, you have to give me 2 sacks tomorrow, Lawrence.
he has to. Enough of the. Oh well, he's getting pressure. I get that. Well, there's a big difference between 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 17. You know what I mean? On 2nd and 6. If on 2nd and 5, you get pressure and he doesn't complete a pass, well, that's good. I would much rather have it instead of 3rd and 5 be 3rd and 11 because you sacked him. You know what I mean? So there's still we need someone to step up and get some sacks besides Micah Parsons.
And here's I know probably most people would not say this, but you have to knock these quarterbacks out of the game. I know that sounds mean, but in a football, you have to take these starting quarterbacks out of the game to dominate.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Lionel Collins made a comment about the offensive line coach. Lionel Collins, what you need to comment on is your laziness the last 3 years in the NFL and also trying to pay people off. Look at that and tell me where you belong. Let's see tomorrow, Lawrence, those guys don't handle him.
And that's what I think gets me. Players leave the Cowboys all the time. It happens. And Amari left under uncertain terms with the Cowboys, but he didn't badmouth the Cowboys. So I'm not going to badmouth Amari. Right. But you got guys like Cole Beasley who left and badmouth the Cowboys. Oh, this organization, like the Cowboys talked you back in and you made big money because they convinced you to play. Lyle Collins, they took a big swing on you because you know what? They give you big guaranteed money, to a big contract, and you were thought of as a suspect for killing your girlfriend. Okay. And they stuck with you after you were a big dummy and you got suspended and you tried to bribe an official like a moron. You're like an absolute idiot. And then the Cowboys still stick with you. And you left and you're like, oh, the Cowboys didn't have this or that. Like, dude, you're dumb. You're a moron. And you know what? If you get suspended or hurt again, I don't care, because you're going to badmouth the team that went out there and like put their necks on line for you. And I get it's a business on both ends, but that's fine. It's a business. And when you get suspended for trying to bribe an official or someone who's giving you a drug test,
and listen,
don't cry over
I followed him out of college. They cleared him all the wrongdoing. He was a scout leader, the whole thing. High character. I thought it was high character, but something comes along with money and success a little bit. It's not like he's a Pro Bowl. Never made a Pro Bowl.
Correct.
Never. He was an NFL starter. He got into that trouble and got into all that nonsense and wasn't in shape. Blah blah and things. Remember, I said I don't like it. I don't like where he's going. Don't like it. Now he's with Cincinnati. Let's see what happens. Nobody wishes them harm. I'm just saying that to a certain degree that all the players have to understand this is a business. So you move on. But more and more athletes are, you comment and blah, 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 really.
Really? We know why they moved on from Amari. Dak was putting on team practices and stuff. Amari wasn't showing up. They wanted to play in cold, they go play in cold weather like the Eagles game. Amari pouts and takes himself out because he doesn't like the cold weather. They said, okay, we're going to trade you and we're going to send you to Cleveland.
He was standing on the sideline. The whole nation, all the Cowboy Nation saw him standing there on the sideline. Rest the case. Rest of it. Remember what I was saying about Jerry, 51-49? There you go.
But you know what? Even so, I'll give credit to him. He didn't leave and bash the Cowboys. He said,
No, he didn't.
CD's good, and he was fine, and he didn't bash the organization. He moved on.
He only had 2 catches first game.
Well, he's also playing with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback, which might as well be playing with no one as quarterback. Might as well just play 10 guys in the field.
Yeah.
So, he was open for a touchdown one of the plays. And Brissett threw about 15 yards too shallow.
No, was he really?
Oh, he was open for a touchdown, and it probably got there about 2 seconds afterwards. Amari got rung up at the goal line, and the guy Amari went to come back, and the guy just ran straight through him for a pass interference on the goal line.
Oh, okay.
Amari was open for a score, yeah.
Oh, he was. All right.
Went 2 steps ahead of this guy, and Brissett just, I don't know, he's just not good. Well,
There
listen,
you go.
there's something I want to ask you. Dak is going to miss significant time for the second time in his career now with the thumb injury. The ankle injury has obviously affected his play. At the end of last year, regardless of what the stats say. He's not rolling out the same. He's not running the same, and I get it because of the injury. The calf injury lingered last year. Even though he missed 1 game, it still lingered, right? So 2 years ago, the ankle injury. Last year, the calf, and the other abilities changed. This year, the thumb. Let's say, hypothetically, the Cowboys, they can't pick it up the rest of the year. It's a bad year. And they can somehow get a top 5 pick. Do you, as a Dallas Cowboys, take a quarterback in that first round with one of these guys who are out? You have, just looking right now, and anything can change at the end of the year. You got Will Levis, who's the quarterback from Kentucky, who I love, is 6'3", 230. You have Bryce Young from Alabama, right? 6 foot, little undersized, little smaller, 6 foot, like 200 pounds. But man, what a leader. And you have CJ Stroud from Ohio State, who's 6'3", 220. And man, he can ball. Let's say one of these guys falls to you. Pick whichever one you want. Do you take him there in the top 5?
I have to say yes. You have to do it because of the big picture. You have to do big picture and stuff. As simple as that. You can't have it. See, what happens is after you get these addition of injuries mounting on you, especially in that quarterback position, it's a reflection on that's the way it goes in your career. That's the mystique of Eli Manning. Let's take Eli Manning. The guy was never hurt.
No.
Guy was never hurt.
Never.
He got bashed at the goal line with the Jets' bloody eyeball, whatever, his face, his forehead. He knew how to duck and fall down and not get bashed.
Yeah.
Brilliant. No, it wasn't lucky. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys would be coming in to smack him in the backfield, and he would just like crumble his body.
Yes. Yeah.
Just crumpled straight down. And
yep.
It's smart. It was brilliant. It was incredible. Mm-hmm. You were like, this guy's going to, I remember how many times you're like, this guy's going to get killed. Like you could just see in your mind.
You can see it.
Just like, we'll just fall to the ground. He never got smacked around.
Never. Only time was a
quarterback
preseason game. Yeah.
Yep. Your best ability is availability.
That's it.
And he was smart. Dak has not.
So the answer is yes. And I because of my observation, my personal feeling on Dak, no. Professional feeling as a fan, yep. I have to.
Here's the thing. I draft him now in the first round. You get a 5-year rookie contract. That's not sinking a ton of money into that. And Dak has a top 10 QB salary now, but that'll even drop out of the top 10 in the next couple of years.
Right.
So it's not like I'm going to be sinking an inordinate amount of money in that position. If you're paying each guy $40 million, yeah, I think that's dumb. But Dak, you're going to keep him on the roster for the next 3 years. And then at that point, you'll be able to get rid of him at a reasonable rate where it's not, I think it'll be under 10 million by that point, 3 years down the road, at which point your backup will now be ready, whether it's Levis or Young or Stroud will be able to step into the position, and they're ready to play like Aaron Rodgers. He sat for years, didn't play. Phillip Rivers sat for a year.
Was it Rodgers 3 years or 2?
It was like 4.
Right. It was quite. It wasn't 1. That's for sure.
Right. He stuck around and just at the bench. So, I think the Packers would do it. 3 years he sat and then started. And then they went 6-10 his first year, but he threw for 4,000 yards. And then from there, he's been, Aaron Rodgers ever since.
Right.
I would do that. I would honestly do that in a heartbeat.
You have to.
If they're in that range, and they say, well, it doesn't help them now. You're right. It doesn't help them now. But you need to make the successful teams have those transition plans at quarterback. And I think one of those guys could potentially have a higher ceiling than Dak. You're picking top 5, even maybe top 10. And there's other guys. There's a quarterback from BYU who's good. There's several quarterbacks.
Right. I don't. I haven't followed college football. I don't know the reputation that we used to follow before about these quarterbacks. But yes. Yeah. Yes, I would have to draft. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I would have to. I'll have to do that. All right. Tell me about tomorrow's game, about the game coming up at 4:30. Prediction, what do you think?
Here what I think happens. They have a balance on offense. They ball control it. I'm hoping between Pollard and Ezekiel, they rush for 185 yards. That's what I need, 2 touchdowns out of them.
Right.
And they play good defense. You got to keep Cincinnati from scoring touchdowns. If I see that first play from Cincinnati, the first series, it's a touchdown from 60 yards.
Yeah, it's a wrap. The game's over.
The season's over with.
Yeah.
Not just a game. The season's over. If they're not playing cover 2 and 3 tomorrow and keeping Cincinnati, cover 2 and 3. Figure that. Don't just cover 1 stuff. Don't even do it. Can't do it.
I'll tell you this. The Cowboys get blown out against the Bengals, Mike McCarthy's career in Dallas could be over. I know they're like, oh, well, he wouldn't do that. If Jerry gets embarrassed, he might not make it out of the season, let alone this week. They get blown out, they get the doors blown off, and they just think like these guys have just quit on the season. Now, Micah Parsons is, I don't care what happens, he's going to play his heart out every single play. So that's I'm not worried about. It's everybody else. If these guys get the scores blown off, Jerry's not going to be happy, and Dan Quinn's going to get the shot for the rest of the year, my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, give him some credit. It was nice to see a professional athlete saying, I'm not going to show up to that television. We lost my quarterback. I can't do it. I can't do it. The locker room was more important. And listen, let's go back to Michael Irvin. I told you this before. We said on here, we're getting too much bad history now. Yeah. It's too much bad history. No. This teams in the past in the 90s, it's going to be 60 or 70 years. Your son going to be talking about bad history. No. This has to stop. It has to stop. And Micah Parsons, Michael Irving and those guys and Emmitt Smith and all the rest of the gangs, it started with Jimmy Johnson. They hated losing.
Yep.
Get him off the field. He's got asthma. Get him off the field. Simple as that. He's you can't breathe? You asthma? Oh, get off the field. That's all. Goodbye. I'll be the head coach. I'm applying for it.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. Hey, let me tell you something about one thing that came across about an attitude. You got to play pissed off. Everybody has to play pissed off. Everybody play smart, but it's a tude. They got the tude. They ain't got the at. Hey, they got the tude. CD got the tude. He got that. That's nice. They don't have the at. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They better show up. That's all I'm saying. They better show up. They better come out and play. Listen, they lose. I understand. I think I actually picked them, even with Dak healthy, to lose the first 2 games of the year.
You did.
They have a softer middle where they could make up some ground, make up some headway. I think even have them starting 1-3 and then kind of picking up steam from there. So if they lose, I get it. if they get their doors blown off, if they're just Jamar Chase is putting up 200 yards,
And he can.
He could go 200 yards and 3 touchdowns easy.
And he can.
So if that's what happens, then there's going to be big problems. And the next Cowboys and Coffee podcast isn't going to sound any nicer than this one. I promise you that.
Oh, listen, I wore my stuff to the Denver high school game, my Cowboy stuff, ran into our buddy Raheem. He's a 49, said, look, I got Dallas Cowboy draws on. I got it all. Wearing it all. It's easy. I don't see no Patriot hats. I looked up in the stands. I don't see one Patriot hat.
The Patriots dynasty is over. I'm not going to hear it about.
I don't see no Bill Belichick clones.
No. I'm not going to hear that about the Patriots dynasty. No one cares about the Patriots anymore. Right. I don't care about them being America's
their team. Their own fans don't care about them.
Right, they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. So
let me say.
Go ahead.
Their game plan for tomorrow on the offense will be what? Who will be the star of the offense? Play calling. That's the star of the game.
Yeah, if he doesn't figure it out, you just got to keep it simple, stupid.
Play calling.
Was it Devin White this week said they knew everything they were going to run, and then Jerry said, well, they knew we were going to run back in the day too, but they couldn't stop us. And I get that, and the game's kind of advanced past that, but that doesn't mean you can't just keep it simple, especially with a backup quarterback game. Keep it simple. Run the ball. Get yardage and short third downs, and win the freaking game. That's it.
Well, time of possession against the Bengals and keep them to field goal is it because Burrow, he can throw a pick. He can throw picks.
We're 4 last week and fumbled, so 5 turnovers.
Yeah, right. So that's not a good sign for us that he played bad last week, by the way. Okay, you're going to get 2 bad games out of him. We'll see.
You might be able to
didn't share some of that for this week.
You might be able to get after him. The whole line didn't look terribly great last week, even after TJ Watt went down. So you might be able to get after him and still cause some problems. And that's where Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and these D tackles have to step up and they have to play.
Yeah, absolutely. The front 7, the front 5, and front 4s and front 5 determine your scheme. As simple as that. They determine your play calling. They determine your coverages. That's what determines pressure.
That's it.
Stopping pressure or pressure.
Mm-hmm. Totally
that's
agree
it.
with you.
So the game plan, that's the play calling is the player of the week. That's it. NFC player of the week, the game plan. Mm-hmm.
All right. Listen, let's go Cowboys. Let's try and get us something. The expectations have fallen off fast. That happens anytime, unless Kurt Warner's coming off the bench. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you go to a backup quarterback for a month or more. But we got to do something. Just give something the Cowboys fans to be proud about. You know what I mean? Again, you lose a close one, shucks. We could have had Dak, whatever. It's a backup quarterback. Get the doors blown off. It's just start scouting Will Levis, CJ Stroud. That's it. All right. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, everybody's going to be watching television. The ratings should be very high tomorrow from the Dallas area Metroplex, but throughout the country, it'll be very high. And we're going to go, we win, we're going to go, wow, okay, we got this one. We'll take one game at a time, and that's how you do it. And again, they go 0-2, they go on the Giants. That Monday night game that will be down there.
Right, we're going to be doing stuff.
The break will come tomorrow if the other teams, like the Giants football players, read their paperwork, their clippings, and see what happens. They're all high off that victory with Tennessee misusing their timeout, gave the game away. So be it. You win. That's the way it goes. Huh?
All right, listen, this is the Cowboys and Coffee podcast. It's Designated Report Joint. You can find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. We're # Cowboys Nation. You'll find us there. D, another great one. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Son, I'll be down tomorrow. I'm gonna wear my Dallas Cowboy jersey tomorrow.
Good man.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So, no front running over here. We don't front run with that nonsense.
Can't call us front runners. We're Cowboys fans.
Yeah, exactly. All right, son. I love you.
I love you. See you later. Peace.
Bye.